What's up, everybody? Welcome back to King's Advisors, and today we're going to be talking about Gamescom. Now, I wasn't totally aware of Gamescom until about a week ago. Like, I kind of knew about it. Like, I knew that there was a big event that they had in Germany every year, but I didn't know that this year it was like going to basically replace E3, and I think Xbox's showcase as well. What's up, Damio? How you doing, man? And so today we're going to talk about mostly the video games that everyone announced or that we got to see a little bit of. We're going to go through. I'm going to kind of give a laydown of what Gamescom is. I'm going to share their website, and we're going to see all of their what do you call them? All the studios that were there and everything. And then we're going to narrow down on a couple of them. Amazon, what's the other one? The EA Embracer Group. Let's look at Embracer and see what they're doing with the billions of dollars they've spent and are now firing everyone for. And then we're going to go through all of Xbox's showcases. So they had, I believe, 5 days of showcases. We're not going to listen to what the people have to say. It's going to be a whole bunch of shit and garbage that they're going to sit there and say, oh, this video game helps tell the story of queer people and it shows why these people are marginalized in society, blah, 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 blah. Who gives a shit? What we care about are the video games. And we want to see the trailers. And, are you actually making games that people want to play? Are you making games that raise your ESG score? So, without further ado, let's look over at Gamescom's website. Let's see. So, this is the list of all the exhibitors. You can see up here they had 106 exhibits. So, this wasn't just Xbox. This wasn't just Sony or Nintendo. It wasn't the big three. Everyone involved in video games was here, from handhelds all the way to different parts, different manufacturers of PC parts. One thing we'll go into is some of the hardware that came out of this. Asus showed their 2 new motherboards. PlayStation exhibited their brand new, I think it was like an 8 terabyte, SSD for the PlayStation. So there's a lot of stuff that came out of this. Hopefully the stream is still working because I got a little Wi-Fi signal over here on StreamYards. So fingers crossed. Okay, let's look at that stuff first. Let's look at the hardware. Buddy. So, Davey, I can tell you right now, there's one thing, and it was shown. I think it was during the first day. I think you're gonna love it. It's totally you. Trust me. Let's look at this one instead. Beautiful fighter jet. So, the coolest PC hardware announced at Gamescom. Yeah, like I was saying, Asus. Is this Asus? Yeah, Asus. Yeah, showed. I thought it was just 2, but this is 5 motherboards. Wow. Oh boy, they are cool. I like this one right here. These two, I like when the cover of the components in the back of the motherboard actually are there and look cool. I mean, you don't see them. You don't really see it in your computer, but I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. Let's see. What did I want to see about the motherboards? The top 2 motherboards in the lineup, the X870 Hero and the Strix X870EE Gaming Wi-Fi. Jesus, guys, can we call these things something a little easier? Like, holy crap, I think I almost had a stroke reading that. They get DDR5 design optimizations under the Nitro Path band. Now, see, what I don't understand, though, is DDR5 has been around for a little while. I mean, it's not been around for a long time, but my computer's got DDR5 in it. I think most people who have bought a newish motherboard in the last couple of years have DDR5. Let's see. So this is the big thing that I saw that I thought was kind of interesting. Some motherboards have Q Release Slim PCLE 5.0 slots. Now, the PCLE slot is the slot that you stick your motherboard in. No, sorry, not your mother. Your graphics cards. That big 16-pin slot down near the bottom of the motherboard. And for the longest time, it's had this catch on it that you push the catch and you're able to slide the motherboard in. And then you try to get your fingers around and pull it up to make sure it's all locked in place. These motherboards don't have that. Without needing to manually unlatch the slot or even press a button, as we saw in Asus's original Q release PCLE slots. This is the first. So let me show. They've got their protectors on it. You might be able to see it on this one. Okay, so I don't think. No, I'm not gonna be able to. Here, I'll pull up a motherboard. I'll be able to show you. Yeah, this will work. Where is, here it is. So we can see on this right here, these are the PCLE 16-pin inserts right here. And in the past, what you've had to do is you have to push that thing in to put the graphics card in, and then, I mean, you don't it's supposed to snap back up when it's inserted correctly, but whenever I do it, I always try to see if I can pull it back up to make sure it's locked in place. The new ones won't have this. They won't have a button or a clip. So what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to insert it, and then if you pull at the right angle, it'll come out. I don't know how much I like that, because it was always kind of nice knowing that there was this safety feature that would A, keep it from coming out, and B, that if you went to make sure it was in and you do a little jiggle, it's not going to come out again. So now I assume that they're going to keep them on the RAM cards up here, because I don't know, that just seems weird to not have them on there. It kind of feels like a staple of building a computer, but who knows? Let's share this tab instead and go back down. The other thing that they showcased is a new handheld computer. So this one, the Zotac Zone, has, if I remember correctly, it's got less RAM and a significantly smaller battery than the Asus one. So unless they're able to get that underneath like $600, I don't see the upside. In fact, I barely see the upside to buying one of these than to buying a Steam Deck. A Steam Deck is $500, I think, and it could play. I'm not going to say every single game on Steam, because I'm sure there's one or two it can't, but it plays a majority of the games on Steam. And it just seems ridiculous to me to spend $800 on one of these and get, as I understand it, marginally better graphics. I mean, the Steam Deck has an OLED screen, so I don't see the point in spending this kind of money. It's like there's a reason that Xbox and PlayStation always try to keep their consoles around the same amount. Because if PlayStation came out 4 years ago and said the PlayStation 5 is going to be $700, and Xbox said the Xbox Series X is $500, well, the majority of people would have bought an Xbox Series X. They're going to spend $700 on a PlayStation 5. So this kind of crap annoys the hell out of me. I don't understand why people do it. I'm not really gonna care about this, because I'm not really someone that notices when you're at 160 versus 320. I mean, you can kind of, in my opinion, you definitely notice 4K versus 1080, but at the end of the day, for me, it doesn't. I don't really care. I still like playing retro games. When I play something like Red Dead Redemption, I don't need it clocked at its highest point because I don't know. It's not something that I really desire. Americus, I will definitely get to that. Don't worry. Did you see that they had an actual medieval village laid out in their exhibit, and you could actually go play it. Yeah. So I'm assuming you're talking about the Steam Deck versus one of those $800 things that I don't think are even better. This is the SSD I was talking about for PlayStation. They announced a 4 terabyte SSD, 8 terabyte. So you can get 5 Call of Duty games on there. Yay. Special editions of 4080s will be like, imagine spending an extra, let's say $200 on one just to have the card that you don't really even see in your computer look different. Let's see. Yeah, NVIDIA is clocking down their 4070s. I'm glad I bought one a while back. And that's it on... Yes, constantly. Always using Discord. That's it on the hardware, I think. Let me see if there's anything new in these articles. I always find it weird that these like big conventions are in. They seem to me that they're always in Europe, and that always annoys me because, I mean, haven't there been several studies that have shown that the U.S. spends more money on stuff like this than Europe? Let's see, hardware. I keep typing Gamescom. Well, okay, so here's one cool thing. So the first actual PC I bought was an HP Omen. It was I don't know, 25L, something like that, and it was pretty good. I mean, it did everything that I needed it to do, and it worked fine. Like I never noticed poor performance or anything like that. And so HP has actually announced, and now before I get to this, one issue that a lot of people have with pre-builds by like HP and Dell and all this is they build them with things to prevent you from being able to customize them. So with that HP 25L, it had a custom motherboard in it that wouldn't have allowed me to swap out hard drives or change the graphics card, things like that. If you want to do that, you have to build your own computer. But now HP seems to be wanting to lean into customization. So we've got this article here from HP. Gamescom 2024. HP elevates the gaming world through customizable solutions for a personalized player experience. Now, I'm not going to read through the whole article. I read it earlier today. What they're doing is they're putting actual like real motherboards in there now and allowing you to eventually, when you play Beyond or when you're, let's say you buy one that has the 3060 in it or 2080. I think the one I bought had like 2090, I think, in it. When you start playing games that eventually need more power and more boosting beyond that 2090, you'll now be able to get a different graphics card and insert it. You won't have to go buy a new motherboard. So I'm very happy with that. I think this is something that the pre-built industry has long had a problem with, and honestly, I'm happy to see HP realizing that they have the ability to get it on the ground floor with PC gamers, people who might be new to it, might not want to spend the time building a computer. They can, pay the $1,000 for the HP Omen and get a decent computer that they'll be able to customize. So I'm really happy about that. I think that's one of the big things out of the hardware side of it that that really impressed me. I was really surprised. Now, let's look at their website. So we're going to look at their website and we're going to look through the different exhibits. And of course, everyone shout out if there's anyone you want to look at. Let's see. I want to see what Amazon Games was doing. Oh, these aren't actual links. Some of them are. I see. So the ones that have their actual pictures up, you can actually click. But the ones that are just names, you can't click. Okay. What's Anshar doing? I feel like I played something of theirs a while back. But as I look at this, maybe I didn't. Let's go back. Let's just go look at the big guys. Bethesda. What did Bethesda show off? Let's see. New ESO DLC. Vinny and Jones game. More Fallout and more Starfield stuff. I saw videos of the Starfield DLC, and I just wasn't impressed. I'm still very disappointed with this game. The fact that I think I beat that game in like 3 or 4 days, and also the fact that it forces you into Gameplay Plus is ridiculous. Let's see. Oh, we can do this. Let's watch this.
Record of a star station in this orbit.
I will say it was nice music.
We have received a distress call of unknown origin. There is no record of a star station in this orbit. Something is not right.
Never get back home. All for nothing. This is the serpent's will.
Dude, we got Bolt.
Coming aboard was a mistake. We need to run.
Hold very still and choose your words carefully. They will determine how long you live. You trespass in the home of House Maroon. Your fate will be decided by the Great Serpent.
Can you feel its embrace encircling your heart? Constricting until there is no more you.
Is it a giant space guy?
Only us.
Well, it's funny because I'm still not like invested in that game at all. But seeing as how I do actually own the game, and I think I own the premium upgrade too, which should get me this DLC if I remember correctly. I may actually play this. It's definitely not something I would stream. It's not worth the time to do that. The story looks relatively contrived, like every other space cult story there probably is. So it doesn't look like there's anything new, but at least it's what do they call it? A chance to get that serotonin. Is it dopamine or serotonin that makes you somewhat happy? Okay, so that was Starfield's big thing, and probably Bethesda's giant. That's probably what a majority of Bethesda's showcase was all about. You know, we've already seen the Golden Circle Indiana Jones stuff. There's nothing new there. What I want to look at, though, after let's just go through here real quick. I want to see what EA had to show because surprisingly, there's a lot of EA studios that I'm hoping they weren't just showing FIFA. They changed the name. Is it called Football Club now? Or is this a new game? Surely they didn't change the name FIFA. Like, that would be ridiculous, right? Yeah, I wonder how this game's going to go. I'll bet you the team in white wins. Let's find out if they did. FIFA 25. They did. Why would you change the name of your FIFA game about FIFA soccer from FIFA? Let's find out why they changed it. Why did EA change the name FIFA? Let's see. EA Sports FC, the new incarnation of the football simulator made by Electronic Arts, hits shelves this week. They don't have they lost out on the license for FIFA. That's what it was. Okay. I guess I could have guessed that. So all they showed was this game there. Seems like a disappointment for such a big studio, especially after you've just fired a bunch of people. Oh, did Avalanche show up? I don't know. That's disappointing. I like Avalanche. What's up, Star Wars Dog? How you doing, man? Let's see. Arrowhead didn't show up. THQ Nordic did. Titan Quest 2 looks interesting. What's this about? It's a top-down, probably not what I want. Return to the classic mythology-inspired setting of Titan Quest and go toe-to-toe with legendary monsters as you journey across a fantastical reimagining of ancient Greece. Interesting. Let's see. Nemesis, Goddess of Retribution, is out of control. She is controlling the threads of fate and condemning all those who oppose her to eternal punishment, including you. Take up your weapon, fight alongside gods, and change fate itself in order to stop Nemesis. Free those she punished and weave your own epic tale. Yeah, so it looks a little like what's that game? Diablo. Based on the very little bit of Diablo that I know. So it may not actually look like it at all. But it's a top-down, so probably not my cup of tea. But it does look nice, and it's nice to have video games back in the ancient world. Let's see. I think Pixelmon is the people that just did what's it called? Nope, that's the wrong button. the people that just did. What's the damn Pokemon ripoff? Pal Worlds. Are they the ones that just did that? Maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't look like anything I really care about. Okay. Well, actually, Warhorse. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for W. Well, they were there, but they apparently Ubisoft was there, but they didn't actually put their stuff on the website. Okay, well, without further ado, let's look at Xbox Day One.
Plus all the latest titles from Game.
Like I said, we're not going to watch what the people say because most of their stuff is just crap. But look at this. I mean, it's not even hard to make fun of them. Like, what the fuck is this? Let's see. Oh. Okay, so we got some. Oh, this is just this is what we're gonna see. Actually, they're getting ready to talk about the new consoles, so let's see what they have to say about this.
Not only are these honeys available for pre-order right now, anyone watching the broadcast has a chance to enter to win either the 1 terabyte Xbox Series X all digital edition, by the way, the 1
okay, so
terabyte X.
Okay, so we've got a digital edition of the Series X that has a terabyte hard drive and doesn't look like anything else is new. Obviously, that's a Starfield edition of the Black Series X, the non-digital one. You know, I really don't understand why people want digital consoles. Like, I get that our computers are just digital now, but the second that console says, the second Microsoft says, we don't want to support whatever game you bought digitally, that game is gone. Let's see. Okay. Horizon 5. I'm definitely going to get dinged for that. Hang on. Let's see. Okay, so what? If the game's been out for 2 years now and we get a car, how about some new games, some new missions, some new races? I don't know. Seems kind of like a shit Mustang to me.
Hello, everyone. It is an honor to be here.
President of Blizzard Entertainment. Okay, get me to the trailers. Is this the trailer? Yes, it is.
For our latest hero, Juno, now available in season 12.
Female hero. Right, Americas?
Flight, we're wondering why you haven't fired primary boosters yet. All systems appear optimal.
I just need a minute. It is so hard to say goodbye
Just overcome with
to the
emotion.
only home I've ever known.
I understand, but the colony isn't safe anymore, and our window of opportunity is closing. So let's get you on your way to your new home.
Next stop, Earth.
What?
Initiating boosters in 3, 2, 1.
Damn, both times. So I haven't watched almost any of
Our
it yet.
sensors
You know there's
indicate
4 days of it.
an external issue.
External?
Follow protocols and you'll be fine.
God,
But
this
you have
looks
to hurry.
terrible.
Careful. I'm going to find a way to save you. All of you. I think I see the problem.
Copy that.
Okay.
Probably not a good idea. That's not. You ever heard of physics?
No.
Don't panic. You're okay.
I am definitely not okay. Why did I think I could do this?
Juno.
I can't.
I believe in you.
I can't. I'm done. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm done with that. That was terrible. What do they have to say about this? I am kind of curious. Hang on.
Again at last night's opening night live, and here to give us an exclusive look at Diablo 4's newest expansion.
So they're not even going to talk about it. Okay. Remember when the showcases used to just be like 2 hours of trailers? And not a bunch of people talking about it and not giving a shit. Let's see.
Explore even more. Yeah, take a look at this.
Welcome to the gameplay commentary of our new game, Lonely Mountain Snowriders, which is the spiritual successor to Lonely Mountains Downhill. It's a skiing game in which players need to find their own way down the mountains in a wild and beautiful mountainscape. Our most
pays
important
people
new
to make this
features
game.
are a real-time online
Like,
multiplayer in which
I'm gonna
up to
mute
8
them.
players.
This isn't them. This isn't a studio. This isn't like 4 or 5 guys, hanging out in their college dorm saying, "Hey, let's make a video game." This is a Xbox studio being paid to make this video game. Xbox, one of the top 3 video game companies in the world, says, you know what people will want to buy? You know what people will want to spend their money on? This. What the fuck are you doing, Microsoft? Yeah, both. I haven't watched. I've watched. There's only one thing I've watched in this, and we are definitely going to. I'm sure you know which one it is. We're definitely going to look at it. So this is what you call it 2. It's the Stalker 2. I'm sure they're all talking about the Ukraine war.
Can see what they're going to be getting their hands on. So, what are you are we going to bring the gameplay up so we've got it on our screens? So,
I don't really want to listen to y'all talk. Okay, so I mean, I never played the first Stalker game. I think there's actually 2 of them. I never played any of them. I mean, it looks interesting. I know you're going through like Chernobyl, I think. Let's see. We're being shot at. AK looks nice. You didn't. Hang on a second. Why didn't you pull back on the charging handle? You've reloaded around. You need to pull back on the charging handle. This is why people that don't know anything about guns shouldn't be involved with making video games with guns. Now, I guess theoretically, if you still had a round in there, you don't need to, but I don't know. He's wasting a lot of ammo. 20. He's reloaded. He had 20 rounds in that magazine left. This dude's bad at video games. So honestly, it looks a lot like Generation Zero, that game that I first started playing on streams. So I could actually get this because it's one of my favorite games. He's very yellow. You should eat some carrots, dude. Let's see. Are these disabled people? Committed for making games for everyone. What the fuck?
And very exciting today, that controller is now available. In addition to BioWave, 8-Bit Do is both announcing and available today their Lite SE wireless controller. So all in all, you know, when it comes to accessibility.
Okay, look, here's the deal. Here's the deal with the accessibility stuff. It's incredible. It is awesome that people born with 4 fingers, born with 2 fingers, born with hands that don't work like normal hands are able to play video games. Video games is an incredible thing that companies like Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, all the way to the small developing companies, they're an incredible thing. And honestly, beyond the toxicity of PvE games, they're an incredible equalizer in this world. So it's awesome that companies like Microsoft want to spend the time developing controllers for people who can't play with a normal Xbox controller. But spending so much damn time advertising this shit is unnecessary. I don't need that controller. You know what? The 300 or 400 people in the world that do know it fucking exists already. Stop showing these commercials. Stop making it such a huge thing in your advertising to pat yourself on the back because you've just fired 9,000 people. That's where the lunacy comes in. Like, it's an awesome thing that the guy with cerebral palsy bound to a wheelchair can play fucking Halo. Stop patting yourself on the back like you've revolutionized the world because one guy can play a video game. It's probably me being a little bit of an asshole. I apologize if it was. Let's see.
That's a lot of the exciting news.
Now, so what I do want to say, though, is this is all about accessibility. They got a guy or a woman that clearly doesn't have a problem with her hands advertising the damn thing. What the fuck is that? Let's see. Here's the game. Here is the game. And I actually want to watch leading up to it because I want to see what they say. Because this, holy fuck, this is a game.
Savage Planet. Yeah, and Naomi, can you kind of talk about the world that we live in? With
yes.
Have we got the gameplay that we can push up?
They're terrible.
Wait, before that,
I think Alex is going to talk.
Okay, so this is Savage Planet. Don't really care about this. It definitely looks like a nice type game for like a little kid.
Creatures,
but again,
as well as...
this is my other problem with Xbox is they keep making games for little kids. They make almost all their studios, almost every single video game trailer that they've released in the last like 4 or 5 years. They're either Japanese RPGs or they're games for little kids. Stop it. You think getting them on the ground level is going to stop them from buying a PC or a PlayStation? It's not. Make better games.
Puzzles and navigation challenge.
Like even the sequel when you're swimming. No water. Exactly. Players, but perhaps players' take on its obstacles can be equally as creative. So in the world, like how playing world design to your lot, or did you need to organization?
Game, you can mix in the outfits. Here we can lots of
with it. We think it's an neat thing. So and some new ways. But first, check out an action adventure game about hope, robots, and the power of words. This is Dustborn.
We need to stick.
Buckle up, everybody.
We need to be a crew. We're on the run from people with space guns built into their arms.
Dustborn isn't about making the big and immediate choices. It's about the little things that add up over time. The words spoken that affect relationships and moods.
Look
the
at these
decisions that
character
stick with you
designs.
and play out when you least expect them to. The actions that push your relationships in new directions.
Fucking hell.
I guess this explains why you're suddenly so eager to chase after the robots.
Oh, keeping secrets again, huh?
It's about making tough choices, about how to deal with the people in your crew, how to manage them, and pull them together to do the job, and to make the compromises necessary to reach the end of the road and your own personal goals.
We'll be taking a different route north, through Liberty, Oregon. Before
Liberty? I would actually like an explanation.
I concur.
Think of the game as a way to write your own comic book as you play. Each chapter or issue starting with a new cover displaying what you're about to experience, and each of them ending with a comic splash screen.
I think it's worse.
These pages present key choices made in the previous issue that could have an impact later on. Whether a dialogue line or event plays out because of a choice made by the player, an icon will appear in the top right corner of the screen, allowing you to really get a sense of what could have gone differently.
Stop it! Oh, what the hell, Pax?
What now?
In the comic splash, you'll have access to more data, such as global stats about how many other players received this particular consequence.
Hang on, let's read this. Our crew is on the run from the Puritans, heading for La Torre, a safe house near Sacramento. Cy is driving. Pax is riding shotgun with Noam and Theo in the back. They're carrying the cargo, a mysterious object stolen from the Puritans, which they're being paid to transport across the American Republic to Nova Scotia. Okay, so they're trying to go to Sacramento. Pursued by Pacifica police, Cy makes a run for it. Pax uses her vocals on the cop by blocking the officer. The crew is able to make their escape, at least for now. Is that a Kia Soul they're driving? The crew has made their escape for now, but this journey has just begun. What lies ahead on the long road to Nova Scotia across the American Republic?
Allowing you to gauge
This is
how
going to
popular
be
this choice
super
was.
anti-American.
Some choices lead to crew mood change, which can have an impact on your relationship with them, but also on their personal endings.
Are you just gonna hover?
We didn't finish our chat.
No, we were finished.
I'm worried about you, and I had more to say.
I'm sure, but I was done.
Every
That
key
dude or
crew member in
not?
the story receives one of 3 endings, or codas, based on choices made and actions taken by the player and Pax. Each coda is illustrated by a comic book style splash screen, along with unique dialogues and events reflecting each character's current status. The player can at any time access the character codex to see which coda is the current favorite.
The crew respects you. When you're unhappy, they feel it. I'll keep that in mind.
Whenever a dialogue choice or action affects a coda, the screen will display a coda emoji, along with an animation that tells the player how important this choice is.
Fucking
It'll be up
hell.
to you to decide how the road trip goes and how your relationships will evolve. Will Noam break away from their on-again, off-again relationship with Pax, or embrace it? Will Theo loosen up with the crew, or favor his boss status? Will Ziggy resolve her sister issues with Pax? Discover how it all unfolds in Dustborn. Available now.
What's the name of your band?
We're the Dustborn.
There is a dream that haunts me. most dreadful night.
What the fuck was that? Jesus Christ, Microsoft.
Yeah, truly.
Made me want to throw my Xbox out the window.
Tears at me.
This
The
ESO?
fortress of stone and valor, which I struggled.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Is now slowly.
Shit, maybe it's not.
The land caught in a perpetual autumn yields to decay. A futile sacrifice remains ensnared deep within the horns of the South.
Sounds pretty good, guys. I mean, it doesn't look great.
Now weakened and cracked
but
by time.
I don't necessarily need stuff to look amazing to enjoy playing it.
A profound betrayal has befallen those most loyal, yielding only despair. I am left paralyzed, powerless. Not more than a witness. My people.
Is this not ESO?
My legacy. Everything is collapsing. They hailed me as the once and future king. Only now do I understand the horror of that title.
Fall of Avalon. I'm interested. So I don't know if it's VR. I think it's just
favorite
first person.
massive open world space adventure.
Oh, wait.
And it's just got its first ever expansion coming up. Here with more on Starfield Shattered Space, please welcome lead creative producer Tim Lamb.
Ah, someone else is going to lie to us. That's nice. Okay, I don't really care what he has to say because it's just going to be more lies. Did I say Starfield? What? What's this? Looks really boring. Build, and I bet you it almost looks like a fucking iPhone game.
Hi there, I'm Jesse and it's Game Park. But something more cozy, like fish.
I don't really want to listen to you talk about it. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is, I have to sit here and listen to this. I do apologize to everyone. But this is what I will be ripping if they fuck this up. Because this game is fucking incredible. And if they fuck this up, I'm going to be real fucking pissed. But I'd really love to not have to listen to this bitch.
Featuring, new expansions and a remastering of the multiplayer experience. Well, in my eyes, it's even better. So here from World's Edge even, to give us the latest on Age of Mythology Retold, please welcome Senior Director of Production, Ernest Yen, and Senior Game Designer, Kristen Perillo. Welcome and prostagma to you. Thank you so much. Now, Age of Mythology, there's loads going on here at Gamescom.
Yes.
In general, there's loads going on anyway. But you also had a pretty epic opening night live. So I want to hear all about that. I want to hear all about the booth. I want to hear everything.
Great. So first, thank you, Jeff Keighley, for showing the awesome premiere trailer that we just showing in opening the live last night. And you showed the story.
What? Hang on. Did I miss? If I can just watch that instead of listening to them talk about it, I'd rather do that. Age of Mythology Retold. Okay, here we go. Let's watch this instead. No, I definitely have not seen that before, Botha. Let's look at this instead.
Young hero, the gods have taken an interest in your odyssey. Try not to disappoint us. No matter what armies you face, what power you wield, or what creatures you unleash,
That's new.
we
No, it's not.
trust you will find a way to write your own legend.
Okay.
Play it day one with Game Pass.
Okay, so maybe this is what I want.
Now, there is nothing like enhancing a classic with modern graphics and gameplay mechanics. And if that classic feature can feature, new expansions and a remastering of the multiplayer experience, well, in my eyes, it's even better. So hear from World's Edge even to give us the latest on Age of Mythology Retold. Please welcome Senior Director of Production, Ernest Yen, and
Really pretty. It is just like really cool to see. So.
Yeah, and the trailer's been fantastic because it really showcases how diverse each civilization is within myth.
Yeah.
We have our Greeks, we have Egyptians, Norse, and Atlantean. They all have their own gods, their lore, the way that they play. And there's just so much diversity within the gameplay. It's been really exciting.
And talking about the booth, yes, we are here, so like people can actually come.
You're just over the back, over there. You're like tucked away over that
right
way.
there.
If anyone's planning on coming to
So, on top of Age of Mythology Retold, we also recently announced Age of Empires Mobile.
Woohoo!
And
yeah, I don't care about mobile.
Awesome team studio.
I can't wait. But the first thing I want to talk about is that this is more of it's more than a remastering, but it's different to a sequel, right? So I don't know, what are the name of gods does Retold actually mean?
Right. So
this is okay. Real quick, Botha. In this case, I don't think diversity is going to be the bad thing. What we're getting up to right here is what concerns me. Is I've been really disappointed in the name that they've chosen this entire time. Using Retold tells me that they aren't just remastering this game. And what that blonde-headed bimbo just said makes me think the same. I think that we're going to end up with a story that is not like the original, which annoys me because Age of Mythology is one of the best RTS games ever made. So let's see what these bimbos have to say.
For a few years now, our fans know we have been building these things called like definitive editions. And there's one key goal that we have, which is we want to build the title that's in your head, right? Not because when you actually think about the games that you grew up with and play, like you remember fondly and say, like, it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
So, but when you actually try to play the original for real and look at it and say, like, that's not what I remember like at all.
False. Absolutely false. I replayed this like a year ago, and it was exactly what I remembered, and it was beautiful and perfect. So either they don't know what they're talking about, which is probably what it is, or they're just fucking idiots, which is another thing. See ya, Americus. Let me know when you're back, and I will hop over to Kingdom Come stuff when we talk about that.
So we want to build the one that's actually in your head and how it looks like, how it feels like. So that's the goal. So, and yeah, really want to thank the fans for supporting us for so long for all the different editions. But for Retold, Age of Mythology Retold, we are going beyond what we have done in developed editions. So on top of all the graphics and all the gameplay from the original, we actually tweaked it and added a bunch of like new things to it as well. And it is
I
just
really
amazing.
hope they're gonna
So-
make
Yeah, I
it
mean,
look
from the
better,
design
'cause
side,
right
from
now
the
it looks
get-go,
like a mobile
we really
game.
asked ourselves, how can we maximize our mythology? And so we've, we've got reusable god cards, which you can actually see. We've got our, approachability features like our VPS we brought in from other titles. We've got, a more favor-based economy, so you can build more monsters, and our population cap is much higher now. So not only can you
Okay, I
build
like
more
that.
monsters, you can just build more of everything.
You add me at more monsters. I'll stop you. It feels like a love letter, really. Everything you've learned so far, you're bringing back, and I love the idea of taking out what you see in your head and then making that version of the game. I think
Right.
it's absolutely wonderful. So you mentioned a little bit about god powers, actually. I heard we have our very own gods wandering around at Gamescom, by the way, while we're on the subject.
Yes, we have invited them.
Beautiful.
So for graphics, we actually have redone every single graphics that you actually see in the
days.
game.
You've been
So
busy.
like every single 3D asset, every single just for the turns, like effects,
Right,
all
that's
of them
fine.
are completely rebuilt.
Uh-huh.
So just for this game. And it's amazing. The team did really, really good work. But we want
So here's my problem with this kind of shit. Whenever they redo this shit,
So
you see the
just for this
same
game.
stuff in
And it's amazing. The team did
in Halo Wars 2. It ends up just looking dull and boring. I mean, look at this shot. So this is, if I recall the colors correctly, this must be a Atlantis, not literally Atlantis, but a colony or something like that. And it just looks like it hasn't finished rendering. It's boring and dull. And whenever they do this kind of shit, like the other definitive editions, they at least kept the designs and kept the coloring and made everything look just newer. But with this shit, it just looks boring.
really, really good work. But we want to make sure that you also keep the flavor of the original.
Of course,
because
yes.
again, we want to build a game that people remember.
Yeah.
So it's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a labor of love. I will say that much. So we've gone asset by asset. And we just made overall improvements. We wanted everything to look and feel mythical. And so we have, our destruction effects. We support ray tracing. But like Ernest had said earlier, sometimes when we've gone back and look at these assets in 2024, we realized that we had an image in our head that was very different than blurry pixels, wrapped around a
No, we
sphere.
didn't.
And so we had a lot of philosophical discussions because, the dev team were all major fans of the original. So, I mean, Arcantus was a big one where we were like, would he have a dimple? Or would his chin be more square? Would he
I
have?
want to be in those meetings, please.
They've been really fun. It's part Rorschach test looking at some.
And that's the issue with all this shit. There you go. Future is gray. And this is the issue when you bring people into video games, people into these industries that aren't actual fans and people that care too much about modern day politics. Is you get conversations like that gay ass shit we just heard. Oh, dude, did he have a dimple? Who gives a fuck? Make him look like a hero and put him in the fucking game.
Some of the assets, and then it's like labor of love, and it all comes together to make that game that we remember loving and playing.
Amazing. So if I've got everything right here, so Age of Mythology retold as complete visual overhaul, updated god powers, and larger than life myth units. Now, small enough to keep me interested, but is there anything else that you have to share?
Yes, definitely want to say that, remind people, one of the coolest thing that we have done for here is that we are releasing on PC and Xbox with crossplay, like at the same time. We have never done that with any age games. So it is the first time we're releasing on multiple platforms at the same time. So really, really happy to be able to bring the game to not only...
Congratulations. You've done something that studios have been doing for 30 years. Congratulations. Big win on you, dumb fuck.
the keyboard and mouse player, but to
I'm
controllers
so
players as
fucking
well.
excited about
the
this.
game people really remember, beloved it. We want everybody to be able to play
Absolutely.
together.
And you've had some fantastic versions on the
So,
console recently, so
yes.
those players will absolutely join you. Now, you also have some other really exciting things to tell us today. I know I'm really gripped for this, but what can you tell us about the Freya Gods Pack?
Oh, I am so excited to be able to talk about this.
Here we go.
So the Freya God Pack really is kind of like a new DLC type for us. And what we really wanted to do was offer the players a new strategy type for the Norse, which is, a beloved civilization from the Legacy game that can sometimes be very offensive in the way that it plays. And so with our Freyr God Pack, we wanted to offer a defensive skew to it. So with the Freyr God Pack, players will be getting 4 new god types featuring Freyr, who is the god of fertility and kingship, and then 3 minor gods, as well as all the things that they come with, like their myth units and their god powers.
Wow. Oh my goodness me. That's insane, by the way. 4 new gods. Amazing. Are you able to talk us through each one? Can we do that?
Yes.
Oh, amazing. Excellent.
So we have Uller, who is the god of archery, and his myth unit is a Draugr, which you may see in the film here. The Draugr is an awesome myth unit. He's an undead archer, and his arrows can pierce multiple targets, whatever is in his line of sight. We have Aegir, who is the god of storms, and his god power, he has a horrifying hailstorm that will slow everybody down, and it's very frosty. And he is one of the best myth units, which is a rock giant, and if you upgrade him, he can eat buildings, and he will.
God, I love this game.
And our Mythic Age god is Vidar, who is the god of vengeance, very appropriate for the Mythic Age. And so his god power, he calls upon Fenrir, which is a mythological wolf. And Fenrir is interesting. He has a path of destruction. He'll light forests on fire, and the wolf comes up in a very scary, ghostly manner. And then his myth unit is actually my personal favorite. Another famous character from mythology, Fafnir, who is a very greedy dragon. Everywhere he goes, he leaves like a trail of poison.
Love it.
And if you slay Fafnir on the battlefield, he actually melts into a pile of gold coins.
Oh, wow.
So it's been very fun to
I
make.
really
and very
love
fun to
how
play.
much you've fleshed out each of those. Like, yeah, that one's going to eat buildings, isn't he? Love it. So good. Wonderful.
It's amazing. Just want to do a quick reminder that Freya is going to be part of the premium edition of the game. So if you want Freya and all the major and minor gods, so definitely get the premium edition. And by the way, if you get the premium edition of the game, you also will be able to access the game earlier. So the game is coming out September 4th, but if you have the premium edition, you can start playing on August 28th, 7 days early.
Good deal to me. Love it. Yeah. Awesome. So as well as choosing your god and battling across this frozen north, what other new content can we expect from the Freya Gods Pack?
Yes, so with the Freyr God Pack, there's also a new playable level called Reaganleaf Rally, and I won't spoil it. It's very fun. You'll get the chance to play all of the fun new myth units and god powers and texts I just mentioned. And really the best part of this level is that it does feature one of our villains from the Legacy campaign, Gargarensis, who is just a peach. And it's
He's
a great
the bad
experience.
guy. He's the bad guy of the entire fucking thing.
Stuck on Peach there. I can't wait to unpack this expansion. So
If you want to continue to support the game, we'll continue to do updates, balance, listen to consumer feedback. And honestly, our players are amazing. They give us really good feedback.
Coming with play.
How sure I get more Age of Mythology stuff going on for all time.
I hope I never have to listen to those people again. That was terrible. Okay, so out of their first day, nothing. I'm not really impressed by anything. They showed that terrible Dustborn game, which just shows they're proud of that. They've been pushing that game too. They're so proud of Dustborn. And if I recall correctly, let's see, Dustborn Steam charts. Let's look at their Steam charts. The game's out. This, I'm sure a lot of y'all have already seen this, but this is Dustborn Steam charts. Again, this shows all the people that are playing Dustborn on Steam. There are currently 75 people playing it. Its all-time peak is 76. How long has it been out? It's been out for a week, it looks like. Since August 21st. 75 people. You know what? There is an indie game. How do you spell Corsair? So here's Corsair Legacy. Corsair Legacy is an indie pirate game with, I don't know, $100 thrown into it. It looks a lot like the old Pirates of the Caribbean game from like 2003, the movie tie-in game. And it's currently doing just worse than Dustborn. Like, how? How are you that bad? Why did Microsoft think that would be? You don't make something if you don't think it's going to make you money. Why would you think that's going to make you money? That's ludicrous, guys. Okay, let's look at day 2. So obviously they start with the ugly and the terrible Star Wars Outlaws. We really don't need to watch this. It's just going to be a whole bunch of dumbass shit. What is this? More top-down games. I'm bored already.
Dice.
Greetings from the amazing CSUN Games, developers of the upcoming cross-platform online multiplayer game Mecha Break, launching in 2025.
Wow, those are tits. Holy shit, it's a female form.
Let's showcase some gameplay through Mecha Break's core mode, 6 versus 6 squad missions.
I'm not really MMO guy. I don't really care about this. But if you like mech shit, this could be something for you. Here's another game made for girls.
With one
not the fruits of that, or about the creation of these artsy creatures and how we can enjoy the fruits of that labor.
So we had a lot of
Christ.
into a PR.
All to think about, like, do I have enough filters in the aquarium to keep them going? Do I have the right types
Girl
of food
games.
for the
Got
different
it.
fish?
Got it. Girl games.
Or at the Sega booth, which is in the same hall hosted to the newest of the new game.
Girl who could rewind time is back.
Let's thrash, Chakra Bra.
But when one of her new friends, Safi Llewellyn and Fayyad, is murdered in the grounds of Caledon University, Max finds that her chaotic power has changed. Now, Max must shift back and forth to reveal the truth of her friend's murder in an attempt to save Safi before it's too late. Once Max's new power manifests, she can send a pulse out from her fingertips at any time. While Pulse is active, she can peer through to the other world, seeing the differences between the timelines clearly. People and objects in the other timeline appear as dimensional echoes, allowing Max to avoid watchful eyes when shifting.
Good thing I can keep an eye on Alderman from here. Wouldn't want to show up right in front of him.
What the hell?
While Pulse shimmers around her, she can also see places where the veil between the two timelines is at its thinnest. These shift points are where she can push through to the opposite timeline to help her investigation in a multitude of ways.
Hope I didn't just unplug my internet.
Something or
Actually, yeah. I need an Allen wrench.
got one around here?
No, I borrowed one from Carla, but I think she took it back. If you can go grab that from her, I'll...
So here's the issue that I have with all this, guys. This is supposed to be the future of video games. This is supposed to be a con that shows us what video games the next 2-3 years are going to look like. I haven't seen a single thing that's made me go, I cannot wait for that. Am I excited for Age of Mythology? Yeah. But it comes out in a week. it's nothing that's it's not something that's making me excited for 2026. And everything is so bad. I had to get a beer.
Oh, you.
Ooh, it's
This
been a
could
while.
be to solve a puzzle, convince a character to reveal a secret, or retrieve an object lost in
Or it's
one
gonna be a bitch
timeline by
tomorrow.
borrowing it from another.
Better give this wrench to Moses.
Shift points work in both directions, so you can shift back and forth from the same spot.
So I found this guy named Alan, but he didn't know anything about a wrench.
No, Max, not literally Alan. It's
So I'll be honest, that's a little
you're
funny.
a lifesaver, Max. Dad joke aside.
I'll never apologize for my dad jokes.
You're not
If
a
you're
dad,
worried
though.
about losing track of which timeline you're in, well, Max herself may get confused too.
Have you talked to Reggie since yesterday?
Who's Reggie?
Reggie?
Crap. Wrong Loretta, Max.
In the options, you can toggle a UI indicator every time you shift, confirming the reality you've just arrived in, as well as there being visual cues such as cheery Christmas
Oh, look at the
decor
gay
and the timeline
pride
where
flag.
Sophie
Of
is alive.
course. Because at Christmas, there's nothing we like to celebrate. Well, we celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior, like gay people.
Importantly to Max's investigation, everyone you meet has an increasingly divergent duplicate in the other timeline. Depending on which timeline you're in, they'll react to Max and her probing questions very differently. A grief-sodden conversation in one timeline may unlock an unexpected heart-to-heart in the other.
Grief is hard. The trick is not to let it change your character.
Everyone at
That voice
Cologne
doesn't
is
match
hiding
that
something,
either.
and Max is the only one with a viewpoint unique enough to unravel those secrets, and the determination to reach the truth at all costs.
Everybody's talking about her like she had a heart attack or a car accident. But she was murdered. Someone murdered her. I don't know how we're expected to just be okay with that.
Max has never been so powerful or in so much danger. The fate of her friends,
Is it Avatar? No, it's this. Wow. Wow, right? Jeez, I hope not. If this is that, it's sure taking a turn for the worse. Yeah, it's definitely World. I think this is World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft. I don't really care. Yeah.
World of Warcraft has had a massive impact on the gaming world, as well as myself, since it launched nearly 2 decades ago. And here to give us a glimpse, I like always the alliance. I'm here. With you.
Oh, it's so fuzzy about what.
This is the casting of Frank Stone.
This place is like super duper creep town, right?
Everything's still so fuzzy about what happened, but there's one thing that always just stuck in my mind.
Sorry, I can't.
Coward.
Hold on, I'm coming.
right when my dad came face to face with Frank Stone.
I think you're starting to see what we're up against.
It's fucking creepy.
Your call, Chris. Drugstore. I don't want to risk missing our chance.
Sure. Curiosity Shop does look pretty cool.
We can check it out after. Fair enough.
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this. After 40 years of pain, why would you choose to live with me? You're not okay, are you? I'm sleepwalking through a nightmare and I just can't seem to wake up.
There's no reward for me when I've done what I've got to do.
This is insane.
I can't live like this anymore. I can't live in this nightmare. Come on, come on, come on.
It's a prison. Something far older.
What is that?
That is Frank.
I thought it looked a little like Dead by Daylight. Wicked would love this.
Welcome everybody to the Xbox booth.
This is our home for Gamescom 2024.
God, why does everyone look so fucking gay?
On the little with
Whatever happened to normal looking people?
on the documentary for it, which is
Elder Scrolls. I don't really care about ESO. Y'all might, so I'll play it.
Which was also in Oblivion, Test for Oblivion.
What I want out of this
yeah,
is
it's just
fucking
it's been really cool to be able
Elder
to do
Scrolls
that
6.
and then add new systems as well. We added the scribing system, which allows players to essentially build their own abilities and really kind of mix and match, you know, those abilities with their builds, and then, you know, just change the colors and whatnot to really match their role play.
Yeah, because that's such an important part for your players. It's not just about being able to get the DPS meter up. It's so much more than that, right?
Yeah, you know, it's like
DPS
like I joke with Rich a lot. You know, we're talking about scribing, but you know, we have a roguelike game. Infinite Archives inside our game, right? We have so many different things you can do in ESO, and in fact, years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago, we started calling it a virtual world, like a fantasy virtual world, because that's really what it is. It's much more than a game at this point. You can log in and play a card game. Now you can decorate your house and share it with others, and you know, antiquity system and PvP, and right. So there's just so much to do in this game that you can really play.
I'm gonna get PC players with the music in the background. Console players are going to be able to get hands-on with that pretty soon, but give us a brief overview of what they can expect with that.
Oh, hang on.
But remember, they've got tricks of their own. If you're down on luck, then you better have a good team with you.
Another PvP video game. I swear to God, fucking Fortnite ruined video games.
And if a game is ever too close to call, then be ready to duke it out one-on-one till the last one stands.
Terrible shot.
Bend the rules in Fragpunk.
Okay, PC Game Pass.
I'm a cut if I like it. I like it. I like it.
So I saw something going through the small thing that I wanted to look at. What is this? Hang on, let me turn closed captioning off. Manor Lords. Okay, I might want to look into this. Black Ops 6 is going to be day one.
another prison guard. Good luck, mate.
What is with all these comic book style games?
Ooh, so
Yeah,
close.
I'm just not
Maybe the
interested in
next
like
guard will do
anything.
better.
Well, Redacted looks absolutely amazing.
Doing that.
Yeah, and I think the
Yeah, thank you. More first. Got a first one. Well,
We managed to fend off our enemy's large-scale attack, but the war is far from over. The Colossus still threatens us.
No.
And our enemies are plotting new strategies.
Looks
Can
a little
Inglis
like
ever
Doom.
find true peace? Has Corel really given up on the war? After Corel's fleet disappeared, the Vulgus began moving from deep within the dungeon to raid the Ancestors' facilities in Ingris and reclaim the outpost. Detecting this, Ingris immediately dispatched a scout. That scout's name is Haley.
So,
Haley,
actual
who rose from a supply soldier
female,
in the guerrilla unit to a legendary sniper, is now a newcomer in the
character.
Descendant
Wow.
Corps. Ruthlessly eliminating enemies with her anti-material sniper rifle, she dominates battles with her ability to drop her body temperature and emit cold air when her emotions run high. When shooting from a distance, her weapon's critical hit multiplier increases, making her an excellent fit for sniper rifles. She possesses sub-zero bullets that fire multiple shots in an instant, and a storm snare that pushes back and rapidly cools down enemies in front. Above all, Haley's specialty is switching to her anti-material sniper rifle and firing a single, incredibly powerful shot, stronger than any other attack. In Season 1, the Vulgus launches a new strategy, the Invasion. Invasions occur randomly in 2 dungeons of the hard difficulty infiltration operations. Players can choose to enter between the existing operations
What game is
or the
this?
invasions. Invasion dungeons are only available for solo play, testing the strength of the lurks in the darkness of the void.
I don't know. I mean, it looks interesting.
Threat of death and intercept that
But again, we're on day 2, and there's 2 things I've found interesting.
Begins on ultimately when out play for free.
Invasion is the name.
It's a crazy, crazy game. But no matter what you do to make your dreams come true, the choice is up to you. 'Cause everything leads to
What is this?
everything is love. Everything is love.
This is my scooter, il ragazzo pazzo.
People got paid to make that game.
Exciting Fever Dream. This is Date Everything from Sassy Chat Games. Please join me in welcoming co-creative lead and executive producer Robbie Draymond, writer, producer Amanda Hubbard, and lead writer and designer Rachel
DEI Ray.
Chase, all the way over there.
Okay,
Hi,
I gotta
how are you
listen to
doing?
this.
Thanks so much for joining me. How are you all doing? Are you having a great Gamescom?
Really, the best Gamescom. And,
Yeah.
you know, just so you and everybody at home knows, I know my name said Amanda, but I'm actually Tiago today. I'm sporting our lead programmer's jacket because someone stole my jacket out of my mailbox. So if you're watching this, if you could please bring my jacket back to me, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. So all good, maybe aside from Tiago and the missing jumper.
Poor
we'll see.
Tiago.
There we go. Now, I most likely confused people in the intro of what exactly I was talking about with the game. So for those...
Oh. They might just be retarded. They might just be idiots. And their sweaters are date everything with the exclamation point. But it does feel like they're trying to make a point saying DEI because that's clearly what that looks like. I don't really want to listen to this shit. They sound and they look so dumb. Again, they sat there over a year ago and said, hey, you know, it'd be a cool game. A game where you get these glasses, you stick them on, and then you can date whatever you're fucking looking at.
And join new player Empire.
General Kazan, who once saved the Empire from the Dragonkin,
survives against all odds while being exiled under the false accusation of treason. He embarks on an adventure to uncover the truth behind his downfall and seek revenge against his enemies. Kazan's
like a
battles
Bloodborne
emphasizes
or a
hardcore
Souls
action,
game.
while they feature various combat mechanics. The core principle is see and respond. We put significant effort into creating precise and vivid combat experiences based on this concept. Essentially, we designed the game so that the players can observe and decide their actions, providing clear feedback for each decision. Combat moments are primarily divided into two phases: the monster's attack turn and Kazan's attack turn. We aim to make every moment enjoyable. To achieve this, we included various ways to respond to monster attacks. Players can exploit openings to attack or choose to defend or evade when necessary. Techniques like Just Guard and Just Evade, which requires precise timing, are also available. There is no single correct answer. Players can experiment with multiple methods. Your unique combat style will develop based on your choices, ensuring that this process effectively leads to defeating your enemies.
I don't know, guys. This just looks like a From Software game. Light.
Preemptive strikes are a key strategy for tackling powerful enemies with ease. When initiated and significant,
Maybe it is a From Software, but they don't normally look this corny. Let's see who made it. Unreal Nexon, so not From Software. So they're just copying From Software.
Hey York, it's great to see you. I'm gutted that I'm not seeing you in person, but I hear that you're in Seattle.
Yes, it's like the first time in at least 4 or 5 years that I'm not going to make it to Gamescom in person, which is...
Okay, let's see what we got going on in Flight Simulator. Potsdam. Nice. So we've added Germany. It looks like we just added Germany. Okay, that's Switzerland.
Oh, many amazing places to check out. But
God, look at all those flight simulators behind him. That's, man, what I had one of these. Which one did I have? That one, I had this one right here. Or no, yeah, I had this one. And then way before that, I think I had this one. God, that's so wild.
But I know your team does an incredible, which is near the area, and then my mom comes from Darmstadt. My brother lives the Flight Simulator 2024. You'll be there.
Let's see.
For all of you that can't be here, we wanted to give you a sneak peek at our demo, as well as some exclusive footage.
Maybe I should have watched this shit earlier.
Lieutenant Mushfree tells the story of Flo and Alone, two friends trapped within a
Find
spiral
day 3.
with
None of
lots
this
of
is
disturbing
interesting.
places.
Day 3. Let's look at day 3.
And maybe exploration will look like in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
So it all comes back to the character, you know, what could you do? So combat, you know, compared to, we come from a background of working on Wolfenstein for a really long game. Like
so, Great Circle is the whole point of this game is they're talking about how there's all these ancient monuments that if you line them all up, it forms a circle. I don't really think that's that impressive, but it's some big like ancient civilization conspiracy theory, I think.
Big double-wielding shotguns. This game is not that. This is much more adventure-focused game. So that means exploring more open-ended environments, having proper puzzles into the game that's challenging for the player to solve without you getting stuck, being able to scale the environment using your whip, but also, the combat. Like Indy is known for his knuckle-busting, brawler-style combat, so punching enemies in the face or even picking up a banjo and smashing them over the head. It's all about trying to recreate that really almost comedic matinee-style adventure.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, he is an archaeologist, but not quite BJ, but he does a good job with what's around him. Can't wait to get into that. Speaking of utilizing the environment, can we talk about the puzzles that we'll see in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle as well?
Absolutely. This is one of the kind of new type of features that we haven't done so much with before at Machine Games. So that was a really interesting challenge. And as I mentioned, we want to make real puzzles. We want you to be this kind of professor, archaeologist. So there's a lot of games, big games out there that kind of dumb down the puzzles for the sake of just making sure the player gets the full experience. We have tried really hard to just make them exciting to explore and build all these systems, like we have the camera and the journal to help you through the puzzle. You get to investigate and discover, and if you still do get stuck, you have the camera, you can pick it up, you can snap a photo of the puzzle, and Indy will provide a little clue what you need to do. You can take another one if you get deeper, so you don't have to go off to YouTube to see the solution.
Nice.
Also extremely important to try to hit the sweet spot of making sure that we have these complicated puzzles from a game mechanic point of view, but we also need to make sure that they feel like they fit within the environments, like it's an actual part of this ancient temple. That
I'm a little concerned that you're saying like 3 or 4 shots
so there's
for everything involving this game, and it's coming out in like a couple months.
Very good sweet spot.
Or early next year, I think.
Where it sits.
I believe in you too. I can't wait to see them. Speaking about ancient temples and things, obviously we see a whole bunch of iconic and interesting locations that Indy gets to travel to across the films too. Whereabouts in the game will us players get to explore and discover?
Yeah, so we have just the base narrative and the core story is already, it makes sure that we put the player on a global adventure. We get to visit a lot of different locations. The reasoning behind some of these locations is a twofold reason. One is, of course, that it fits the narrative, the story that we want to tell. The other one is also to make sure that we introduce new, interesting, exciting environments throughout the full campaign. So you will get this dynamic pacing of, wow, a jungle, a desert, mountains, So we're really trying to make sure that balance and that contrast feels exciting and thrilling at all times.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, a lot of us, I'm sure, me especially, I'm very excited to get my hands on that whip and take that out for a spin. Is there anything you want to share just now about whip wielding and how that can be used within the game too?
It's such an important feature. Like it's iconic for the character. So from day one, it's been incredibly important to get right, and we've had super talented engineers and animators working really hard to get the feeling of it feeling right. Like there's a mix of simulation, physical simulation in there. There's a mix of animation that takes over that allows you to do all these things that we want to do. You can, attach it to things in the environment, pull them, use it to scale walls. It's also a combat tool. So
I
really
hope
being
we don't
able
get
to use as
snakes.
primarily as an entry point to combat is a very good use of the whip. You can use it to disarm someone, so you can turn around and then use it to pull an enemy into what we call clinch, so you can punch them. You know, it's a very versatile tool, and getting that to feel right has taken a lot of work. We have the audio part of it. We actually we're
super important.
Yeah.
It's such an iconic part of Indiana Jones' character. So the amount of work from broad spectrum within
It does
the team
sound
that's
like
been
these
working
people
on it
actually
and,
care.
working hard to make
So
sure
that's
that
nice.
it is where it is today. It's
Well,
been not an easy
Sundowners, whenever they speak
We even
English,
brought
they
in
sound gay.
experts.
So.
Like we went to visit the Swedish bullwhip champion.
No way.
Yeah. And you know, our audio team went there and rigged mics and everything, so we could get the sound just right and
Wow.
see how it's actually being used.
Nice.
Oh gosh, that must have been quite the day. I love that. Can't wait for that part
She's
personally.
made way too many
absolute
comments
fan.
about whips.
So speak extremely, valuable and appreciated. We have been on a constant iterative basis with them, basically weekly turn. We've been in contact with them. They are the experts of the IP. They are the experts of the
Hang on.
the point of working together alongside with Lucasfilm Games has been extremely, valuable
That's not
and
good to say.
appreciated. We have been on a constant iterative basis with
So
them.
it looks like Sundowners. It looks like Indy is the main character. There is a female helper, but I've only seen in all the video game footage we've seen so far. I've only seen her in like one or two areas. So I think she's probably maybe she's like a intern or a teaching assistant who's helping him like help figure things out, but. That doesn't annoy me nearly as much as Phoebe Waller-Bridger going in and like punching him to make him realize he doesn't need to stay in the past. Like that shit's annoying. Academics talking to each other is, I mean, as common as 1, 2, 3. So
basically weekly.
We'll see.
We've been in contact with them. They are the experts of the IP. They are the
That
experts
concerns
of the
me.
franchise.
What's up? What's
seeking
up,
their
Purist?
guidance sometimes and making
that
sure that we are.
that line he just said that Lucasfilm Games is the experts of Indiana Jones. That concerns me, especially because of how the last movie went. I do think that when these people talk about these things, they're very specific. They're very specific in what they say. And even though they're German translating to English, and we saw earlier that they had one of the guys had issues using English, second language and all that, probably third or fourth, considering they're over there. But they're very specific when they say these kind of things. And they said that they spoke with Lucasfilm Gaming, not Lucasfilm. So I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that they're dealing with the game company and not the movie company. Is it Marion? I don't think it is. No, they showed his face quite a couple times. Both.
Comes to, and
there's one.
Might sound weird. There are people out there that do not know who Indiana Jones is. We are capturing them.
Three
also,
of them.
Because at the heart and at the core of Indiana Jones and the franchise is a fantastic world of deep narrative and a great adventure. So
there we go, adventure. I like to hear that.
There is something for
Is that a
everyone.
battleship?
Amazing. I can't wait. That sounds so good. Well, guys, I would love to know if there are any parts of the film that you also emulate in the game, or if you could maybe share us a little bit of Easter eggs if you have any.
Well, it wouldn't be a proper Easter egg if we spoiled it ahead of launch, so you have to play it for yourself. But as Axel said, there's a wealth of indie trivia and lots of really cool things to discover in the game. So
if you know, you know type thing.
You will not be disappointed if you're into that.
Amazing. Well, guys, thank you so much for chatting with me today. Finally, last question. When can we get our hands on Indiana Jones and the Great Circle?
December 9th.
Okay, Christmas wish list sorted
Yes.
then. Very good and very nice. Jens, Axel, thank
So 3.5 months. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So it's not it's first person gameplay. It's obviously, you know, third person cutscenes. So yeah, I see what you're saying about that. I'm interested. I mean, I like what they had to say. I like that they seem appreciative of the task set for them. It sounds like they're not trying to dumb down the game. They talked about how they don't want you to have to rush to YouTube to find out the answers for the puzzles, but they also don't want you to be able to just swipe right and get the code right in front of you. So I think I'm interested. I'm definitely going to pay more attention than I was going to. We'll see. Again, this is day 3, and this is now the third thing that I'm at all impressed about.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Gamescom. It's been such a pleasure chatting.
But at least we don't have to deal with the dumb-looking yellow-haired freak anymore.
Nice.
Okay, so we got a couple trailers coming up. Another JRPG.
Only the one who has earned the people's support is fit to be king.
People may struggle to trust a king whose face they do not know.
I want to protect this country and its people.
The city of Rhylehaven. If you get rid of the culprit, I will appeal to the people of this town to support you.
More public support, bigger face on the rock.
Traveling from one nation to another, well, there's all sorts of life-threatening danger on the way.
I agree, Sundowners. I hope it isn't. More JRPGs. I really don't care, but I said it earlier. Xbox seems to be, or Microsoft seems to be making 2 types of games, or 3 types of games. They make one interesting, let's say, 15-year-old plus game a year. And the rest of the 40 games a year they make are divided into Japanese RPGs and games that are clearly made for children or girls.
のカツラです。本日は世界と共に風に落ち
with who you're playing. Special dude. I'm running out of ways to describe it, but he is like your first and foremost. Runs in very early. He is like a
be a nuisance.
Squirrel with a gun. Yes. Hang on.
Game 25th. Place. And if you're not already a Game Pass member, you can join right Waffle platformer. That's
Squirrel with a Gun. The game where you play as the neighborhood's most obnoxious rodent, committing crimes and causing.
This reminds me of when
acorns.
Defeat All Humans came out.
What makes this nutty sandbox shooter and puzzle platformer so special? The core of Squirrel with a Gun is in its nutty sandbox gameplay. We had to make sure the gameplay was as crazy as the concept. You play as an unhinged animal as it wreaks havoc on the world around you as you explore and complete hidden objectives. You can be a nice squirrel and ask for snacks and pose for photos. You might get some rewards for wholesome interactions, like helping a bride find her missing groom, shooting some hoops, going on a little water adventure, and heading to the skate park to show off some tricks. But you can also choose to be a nuisance, pestering the community, like running them over with your little RC car, giving someone a shave, riding the drone, doing a showdown with Wild Will, the cowboy. There are so many different ways you can interact with people in this game, and a lot of hidden side quests
break his fucking neck?
NPCs in exchange for the highly desirable golden acorns. Regular acorns and the rare golden acorns are used as currency to unlock new weapons or other interactable items, like your RC car. This game also has a lot of clever puzzle platforming. Not only do you jump and climb around like a normal squirrel would, but because this squirrel is often equipped for combat, you can use a gun's recoil to boost its jumps. This feature is utilized in various ways based on which gun you are holding, and sometimes
reminds
you need
me
a
of,
specific
like,
weapon to help you navigate a puzzle. For example, you wouldn't be able to get the acorn on top of this roof without a shotgun to blast
computer
you up
games.
there. We had a lot of fun making each puzzle super unique. There's a minefield that you have to sneak through to get the rewards on the other side. The neighborhood itself has all sorts of backyard puzzles, like getting some air with bouncy umbrellas, or getting low in the crawlspace maze. Some of them can get a little crazy. You can take to the sky on a bouncy castle, and head underwater to get some rewards. Let's take a quick pause in the gameplay to show off some cosmetics we
Exactly,
to
Bosa.
style up our squirrel. My favorite outfit is the diving suit because it lets you explore a hidden underwater cave that you otherwise wouldn't have access to. A few of the cosmetics even have tactical effects. Wearing a bomb suit will reduce explosive damage, and the sparkler hat can light propane tanks on fire.
Oh,
and of
that's
course,
nice.
you can't have a squirrel with a gun without the gun. There's 7 different weapons to unlock in the game, each with its own unique takedown and jump boost. You can learn more about them by watching our previous Arsenal trailer.
Oh
Each
my
one is
God.
a blast. I hope you learned a little something about how squirrels can wield weapons and cause chaos. And I can't wait for all of you to get your paws on this passion project of ours.
You know what that game is? That game is a fever dream. That game is 3 or 4 best friends that said, hey, you know what would be fun? Let's make a game where you're a squirrel and you can shoot a gun. I love it. What is this? Is this Diablo? No? Well, maybe.
Bosses in Path of Exile 2 come about 2 major ways. You obviously have the more traditional approach where you create a narrative and you design a boss around that narrative.
No noose this time. I'll remove your head myself.
So you're just talking about how y'all create your bosses.
Favorite characters. So make sure to check this.
So Thursday was day 1. Sustainability at Xbox Playing for the Planet trivia game. Sounds dumb. So they had sustainability at Xbox 4 different times during this thing.
Schedule.
These guys, you
Enjoy
really don't know what your
Waffle
community really wants to play. Ooh, this is an old game. Wow. I like this. Grease guns. M19s. It's nice. Where is he? Oh, he's down there.
And that was Commando's Origin. I'm pretty good.
Here
to
she
know.
is.
Now to Warhammer 40k Space Marine heads later interactives.
Great. To also work on the in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. You know, this universe, it story, the setup, these
Fearsome or scary, but yeah.
Honestly,
did I just miss-
unfolds
Hang
when
on.
the game launches October 11th.
Yeah, I
So
did.
check out the pre-order and get ready for the event.
the
There-
fans, but
okay.
also was approachable enough for people to play it. Now, I know you said you haven't played Space Marine 1.
Please don't hurt me, Tim. I'll get round to it.
That is totally fine. Yes. Don't worry that, if you haven't played the franchise, jump into Space Marine 2. If you're just a fan of over-the-top, in-your-face action games, this is the game
That
for you.
sounds like a bit of us.
That's good.
I doubt it. You probably
The
played
fans
The
that have been
Sims.
there all along the way. They played the originals. How have they helped? Your community basically.
The community, the Warhammer 40,000 community is intense. It's million. And
Yeah, they all
the
hate
game
what y'all are
and the
doing to the
experience that
fandom.
really is true to
It's for action
system is intense.
of that. Yeah.
And he has 2 squad mates whom the computer can play them, or your buddies can play
Oh,
with you.
fun, okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
And then we have a PvE campaign where you can play as your own Space Marine. And you can customize Space Marine. You can be the chapter that you want. You can upgrade.
That's great.
And then that also leads to PvP. So you can go head to head with other humans playing as Space Marines.
Oh, that sounds good.
Absolutely.
That's a bit of us. I like that. And here's the range stuff that we're seeing.
That's the thing. The action is very intense, and at times
Bad
the
bitches
number of
in The
enemies
Sims.
can get quite overwhelming as well. It's not just about the fact that you're dealing with someone far away, maybe someone up close, because I can deal with
Massive amounts of Tyranids. Never.
You
Yeah, you can break up.
Is that what?
It's apart.
I mean, it definitely looks interesting. Maybe I'll get it. I don't know yet.
And then flank survive. It's like
I like. Yeah. Here.
Their attack.
It's definitely gonna
survive
hurt,
because they start landing. Different units
the
are landing on
Helldivers.
the same platform that you're on. And as you can see, there's
People that are
there's
still
lots of
playing.
ways that you can go about.
I love it, but they got a lot of work
So
to
it's
do to
not
get
just
people to
mindless violence. There
get
is
back
also
into that
quite
game.
a lot of
Weapons. You can try and through Space Marine.
You all year long.
Okay.
It's invasions right around the corner, and we also got a look at what you can expect. And we also just learned
Yeah, we
by the way,
already
Charlie,
talked
that
about
the newest descendant,
the Val, don't
Haley's
wanna talk about
character
that,
trailer
let's,
will be revealed before the update goes live, August 29th. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, have a look at this.
This whole fucking thing. Oh, here's Sims.
To drop the date in there. But
Check.
Yeah, check. Done. But the booth has just been a really fantastic experience. Getting to actually let people play
Maybe it's
hands-on
not.
with the game, experience
Okay.
the game it's the way it was meant to be played, and just feel like range on
Goodness me, wow.
I don't know how I feel about all of these Civilizations wannabes popping up. At least Total War offers a new element in the actually being a strategy of battle. Okay, so it looks like this is going to end with Aura. That was day 3. Oh, look, there I am. Where is day 4? Day 4. Is that it? Well, I mean, we can talk about this. Borderlands 4 release trailer. We're going to look at this. Well, actually, first, let me do this. So, we now went through 3 days of Xbox's showcase at, what's it called? At Gamescom. The thing that they're supposed to showcase the future of Xbox games. Like everything we've got coming down the pipeline, maybe not everything. Maybe they don't show like the big Bethesda thing or the big Xbox Studios thing. Maybe you wait for your showcase to do that. You want as many eyes on it as you can. But there's like 2 things in that entire in 7 hours of stuff that I was even the least interested in. One of which I might buy. So it's disappointing that Microsoft, and now that's just Microsoft's thing. They didn't do video showcases for the other studios, EA. I went through a list of them earlier. Yummy Games, I'm sure that's some cooking thing. Zenho, THQ Nordic, Square Enix, let's see, Team Jade, all these guys, they didn't show up or they didn't do a video stream of their stuff. Now, what I am kind of excited for is other stuff that I don't know if they actually had stuff at Gamescom, but it came out in the last couple of days, so we're going to talk about it anyway. One is, of course, Borderlands 4. I'm hoping it's better than 3 because 3 was shit. 3 was boring as hell. So let's see what this trailer provides. Reveal trailer. They gotta make up that money they spent on the movie somehow. Both of, will you explain what they're taking? This is the map. Oh. It really was just a reveal trailer. It really was just a reveal trailer. Okay. So here's the deal. I loved 2. 2 was probably one of my favorite games. I think I probably put 400 or 500 hours into that game. Went through playing it probably 7 or 8 different times. I think I did every single DLC. Like I was hyped for that game. Loved it. I was really hyped for 3. And I got through, let's say, about 45 minutes of playing, and I was just bored. You know, I kept doing the same stuff over and over again. It felt like new guns got better way too quickly. The grind was no longer there. I didn't like it. It didn't feel like Borderlands. So my hope is that this fixes that issue. I don't know if there was stuff at 2K that on the team that just kind of maybe everyone that worked on 2 was no longer there. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to that stuff. And to be honest, I don't really pay attention to it now. And I don't know. I just hope that this is better because I really like Borderlands. It's a fun shooter. It really has, at least for me, everything that I want in a shooter. Minus the realism, of course. I like Modern Warfare for a reason. But like both have said, and I have to agree, that movie, I think, killed any hype this game could ever get. So their best bet is to release this game at least late next year, maybe even in 2026. Try to put as much distance between that crap show of a movie and this game as possible. Because that thing was first, I mean, how you think Kevin Hart plays Roland at all is fucking ridiculous. But that's it on Borderlands. Again, it was just a reveal trailer. It's a little disappointing. The only other thing that really popped up in the last week is Civilization 7. They're wait, what else comes out in February? Oh, right, Americus. I hope you're here, buddy. Here we go. In fact, I am going to DM him real quick just because he said he would pop back in every now and then. But I do want to hear what he has to say about this. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. No, wrong button. Present, share screen. And we will end this by talking about Civilization 7. But this is the game I'm waiting for. And what's so funny is both this game and Civ 7 come out on February 11th. So I will be taking that whole week off of work. And I will be streaming probably from like fucking 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day. Like, I am stoked for this shit. Subject to final polish.
The Holy Roman Empire, 1403.
Panie, mój Boże, wysłuchaj mnie. Całe życie mordowałem i ruchałem. Więcej razy paliłem kościoły niż byłem u spowiedzi. Wybacz swoją słudze. Wybacz i pozwól mi jeszcze tylko raz.
Gee, I wonder what he's saying.
Wykastrować tych bezbożnych skurwysynów!
Welcome to the first look at the gameplay of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, a unique action RPG with a vast, realistic open world and a grand cinematic
So excited for this.
As the young lad Henry, you will embark on an unforgettable journey through the beautiful but brutal world of the late Middle Ages. Our task for this quest is to find 2 men-at-arms, Raniek and Ada, and recruit them into a rebellious task force of which Henry is part. With a bunch of talented criminals and violent drunks, you are about to unleash a guerrilla warfare against Sigismund, the usurper of the Bohemian throne. The first man on the list, Raniek, was last seen in the nearby village of Bilani, playing dice in the tavern. Let's go ask the local gamblers about
stopped
him.
by some Kumans. Probably, Daimyo. 100%.
It's very early. The villagers are just waking up to their everyday chores, milking cows,
I get paid
harvesting crops, or
on
gambling
vacation.
groschen.
I did see. Oh wait, no. I
What
think I
brings
saw a
you
different
here
game.
so early in the morning?
The innkeeper said you were playing dice with Raniek.
You know Raniek? Then you must have a drink with us.
Thanks, but I'd rather know what happened to Raniek.
Impatient, aren't you? We can take you to him right now, if you want.
Lead the way, then.
Come on.
Nice fellas.
Is this
They offered us a drink.
Settlers
and now
version
the
of
to us.
Botha?
No
Is this a
questions asked.
Settlers version
Looking forward to
of
meeting him.
Fable? That's
Seems
pretty
like a
dumb.
feel-good quest.
It looks so much better than the
So
first
where
one.
is
And the
he?
first one was pretty good.
What? Where is he? I don't get it. What happened to him?
We met this Raniek in Pshipoki. We even lent him money when he had nothing to play with. He swore he'd pay us back. Then we met here and played some more. Raniek kept losing, but he didn't know when to stop.
What did he do to him?
When it was clear he had no way
Sounds
to
like
pay
they
us
killed
back,
him.
we started watching him to make sure he couldn't run away. He started whining about having to go take a dump.
I never did the archery.
watch
I
his
did
shit
that.
So
I
we-
did that one mission where you have to do archery. It was basically you have to like learn how to do it, and then I think you're going against Hans or something in like some archery contest. That's the only time I ever did it. Every other time, it's Sword of St. George for me, baby.
let him go and said we'd wait outside the shithouse. But the bastard got the idea to flee the other way.
You mean through
but I reckon it was deeper than he thought. And he never came out.
What?
I'm gonna pull Raniak out.
Well, if you say so, but I wouldn't go in there for a golden pig.
And when I find him?
Just pull him out and search him. That bow of his should fetch a decent price.
Ah, his dead body.
The life of a true medieval adventurer isn't always about winning epic battles, saving damsels in distress, and
Okay, I was gonna wait. Botha, can you wait? I'll talk about that after this. So if you can wait, we'll wait. But I got words.
Destiny. Sometimes it's about fumbling for corpses in a pile of shit
Something's moving over there.
behind the Balani Tavern at 7 a.m.
Oh, good.
Oh, he got in his gloves.
Finally.
Poor Henry.
This is disgusting.
I don't think they deserve the bow after all.
Don't be afraid. Feel around.
The worst part is
Where are you
he's basically a noble now, and
Come on, do it.
and you're making him do that. Ugh.
Now, bring us the bow. What about the... Not another step. God, what a stench. So, did you find the bow?
Well, I have it, but I won't give it to you.
1,000 gold.
With what I had to go through to find it, it's more of a consolation prize.
Did you go mad from wading through shit? Give it to me.
Come and get it.
Fellas, hold
There we
your
go. We get some
noses
combat.
and beat him up.
It's just
KCB2 aims to bring a unique blend of realism and fun into every part of the game, combat included. Our fighting system is built on true medieval martial arts and wrestling techniques. Fluid, thrilling, and tactical. As in real combat, movement is the key. As is equipping a good set of armor. Otherwise, you might find yourself in a pickle.
Well, he's dead. Oh!
We should leave before someone notices the new corpses and starts investigating.
Like her?
What the? Did I step in shit? Oh, it's just you.
Oh,
exactly.
Don't have the time to wash up. But I'll do that right away.
As proven by this lovely lady, the world reacts to your behavior, looks, and even smell.
I found a body.
Time to vanish.
Better go.
In order to properly wash away our morning adventure, let's visit the best bathhouse around, which is located nowhere else than in the great city of Kuttenberg. The crown jewel of the Holy Roman Empire, the central bank of the kings, a place where people of all sorts come to pursue the Bohemian dream and seek their fortune. A city filled with people to befriend or betray, and all sorts of adventures and quests for you to uncover.
Oh, beautiful. And everyone looks right. Take with that what you will.
Don't cause any trouble. Got it? I'll be with you.
I started a new game in KC1. I might stream that this week. I think I got to
What can I do for you?
the second
you
place.
Stinker.
I need my wounds treated and my clothes washed.
What do you mean by the Captain Kirk?
Great, but it'll cost you.
411 gold.
You certainly won't regret it. My baths are
Damn,
first class.
75 gold.
Now that we're all scrubbed up, let's take a stroll around the city. The world in KCD2 doesn't wait for you to come and trigger the lives of its citizens. All inhabitants have their own day routines. Merchants,
Nice.
wenchers, soldiers, or executioners. They all wake up, go about their workday.
We got public
and once that's
executions?
finished, they go home to their families or to the tavern to their beers.
Are you whistling at me? I'm not interested.
KCD2 aims to bring you a uniquely reactive and believable world. Whatever you do as Henry, it will have consequences, and you will feel them. Have you haggled too long with the greengrocer about the price of his cabbage? Well, now he's pissed off, and you can forget about any sale. Thrown your favourite
Been
cat
there.
in front of a beggar kneeling by the church. Come back a
Oh,
minute
I see what
later,
you're talking
and you'll see him wearing it proudly.
Probably not
Or
every
kill the
single
local
one,
innkeeper's
but
husband.
I imagine it's
She'll
still going to
crying
be in the
front of
game.
a house the next time you go there, making you feel really miserable. Across this demo, we'll play as a good-hearted lad. Apart from the ending, though. Spoiler alert.
Ooh.
But the game allows you to push Henry towards any behavior, even the most vile. Here's a quick example of what you'll be able to do to stir some mayhem in the city.
Are you going to kill the guy in the... Oh, my God. Oh, right, we got cannons. Oh, my God, you're killing chickens.
Did you forget your clothes somewhere? Oh, at your mother's place when I was shagging her.
Oh, we get crossbows, too.
Ha! That was just a little appetizer. And now I'm hungry again. So I reckon it's time for another course. What do you say?
And now, back to our good lad, Henry.
I'm so excited for this.
Huh? Please, good man. I need some help.
A prime example of a random encounter.
What is it you need?
I lost something, and I can't find it for the life of me. My leather satchel. I put it down here for a moment, and now it's gone.
Where did you put it?
Somewhere around here. I made sure it wouldn't be in plain sight. At least I think I did.
Oh, a moment's distraction is all it takes. Someone must have filched it from you.
If I don't find it, I'm done for.
Now hold on. Wait. What are you doing? Give it back right now.
Cheeky bugger. 50 groschen? That's worth at least a hug down the bathhouse.
Stop! Enough!
Oh, he must have robbed me.
Now hand it back. Everything you stole from me.
Here. That's all of it. Can I go now?
Piss off.
You're acting like a child. Go and whistle somewhere else.
With our groschen back in our pocket, let's go
Mind
to
where
see a
you're
merchant to stock up on food, sell Raniak's bow, and head to the whereabouts of the second man on our list.
And don't forget the, what is it, the moonlight potion that makes you, like, double everything. That shit's fun. I don't think he will, man. I don't know. I mean, you know him better than I do. I mean, if they're willing, if he and X-Wing are willing to learn how to play Elden Ring, they ought to be willing to learn how to play this. This is a fun-ass
Bacon's
game.
good, but then again, it won't last too long in your inventory. For longer journeys, dried food is always better, as it doesn't spoil, and you don't risk getting sick from rotten bacon.
Look at that. That's a heroic pose for a man. Look at that.
Now that we're geared up with some food for our hungry Henry, let's proceed with our quest. The world in KCD2 is filled with places to discover. Let's have a look at this old ruin. There might be something valuable.
And I'm pretty sure that the map includes parts of the old game as well, doesn't it?
Turn that horse around and get out of here, right?
Oh,
now.
bandits.
Right, I'm going. Come on. Well, what's it gonna be? I told you to get out of here.
We should listen to Mr. Mole.
It is Daimyo. You need to. You really should give the first one a try.
He must be guarding something.
Because this one picks up right after the first one.
We can't leave behind like that.
So, and it's actual story. Like it's not like Red Dead or something like that where you could play one without playing the other. You'll need to know what's going on.
Let's change our outfit to something more quiet and drop the chainmail for a bit, so we don't rattle across the whole camp.
I kind of forgot about that part. This reminds me of that mission against the Kumans that you gotta sneak into that camp, either well armored and kill everyone, or that probably took me the longest. I probably spent 2 or 3 days trying to figure out how to do it. Cool, dude. I really think you'll like it. I do hope bow and arrows a little easier in this game.
An alchemy lab. Of course.
Oh, that's clever.
Pinkman. God damn.
You missed. You had a point blank and you missed.
As you can notice, shields are very handy when you carry only a short weapon and have a free hand.
I think that's how I'll be playing. Shield and sword.
Dodge and attack him right after. There you go, Henry. Yes, the weapons and shields can fall apart during combat if they're damaged enough. So it always pays off to take good care of them.
I'm just getting started.
Yep. Over leveled with poison on your blade.
Mercy.
Victory at last. Now, what should we do with him?
You're not going anywhere until I say so. Let me live. Give me everything you have, and I'll let you go.
All right, easy now. Just let me go and I'll give you everything.
You promised to free me. Now keep your word.
If you rewind a few moments back, you can even see he gave Henry his red shoes. But it could have been much worse for him.
Fuck this! I'm not getting myself killed!
There must be something of great value here.
Oh, there's oh, I love that stuff.
Savior Schnapps. A classic period potion through which you save the game. This was worth the 3 kills. Unlike the bow.
That's clever. That's funny.
Now, back to the recruiting campaign. The second man on the list, called Ada, was supposedly misbehaving last night around this village, and the gossip says he was caught with the butcher's wife.
Ooh.
Good evening to you.
I'm looking for someone, and the innkeeper said you might be able to help.
Is that so? Who is it?
A wandering man at arms. He's a foreigner, a Pole. They call him Adder.
Who are you
Oh,
anyway?
both of-
Some friend of his?
Something like that. I just need to find him.
Then you better hurry up. My old man wants to murder him.
Ooh.
Why does he want to kill him?
Because he's a stubborn fool who won't let me explain. And believes gossip over his own wife.
Let's see. Fast forward a little bit.
Leave him alone and untie him.
Why would I do that? Do you know what that bastard did?
If you're talking about the rumors in the village, it's all lies. Nothing happened.
You don't know what you're talking about. That whoreson defiled my wife. My Eva, eh? He should be glad we're only gonna hang him. If I had my way, we'd castrate him as well.
Is he on a fucking cow?
I saw that mark you left on your wife's face. That was no accident, was it?
What are you on about?
You'll raise your hand to a defenseless woman, but you need a whole gang to take on a man.
Think you can insult me, do you? Shut your gob. Get him, lads.
Well, at least Eva can find someone nicer now.
All yours. I feel quite hungry.
Boli. O kurwa. O kurwa, było blisko. O kurwa mać. Mało.
Oh my god. There you go, Sundowners.
Masz krzepę. To jak żeś nastukał tym zagnojonym kuciapom? O, sam bym lepiej tego nie uczynił.
I reckon you want to know who I am, right? I'm Henry. Henry.
Nie. A dlaczego ty mówisz do mnie jak do głupca?
Let's see.
Yes, that's me.
So...
Henry. I was sent by Dry Devil.
Tales to come. Wait and prepare for more tales to come.
Cannot wait.
Kingdom to this medieval adventure on our journey towards release, February 11th, 2025.
Can't wait. I'm gonna get the big edition. I'm probably gonna drop $200 on this thing because I want that really cool box set thing. So overall, I'm really happy with what we've seen with Kingdom Come 2. Obviously, I was really hoping they were going to stick with their late 2024 release date, but I would rather a game get delayed than it come out choppy and undone. So I'm happy that they're pushing it back. They're not pushing it back a whole bunch. They never gave us an exact date in 2024, so February 11th isn't that big a deal. You know, it's 4, 5, 6, it's 5 months away. I knew that staying on my head. So I'm excited for this. I can't wait for this. I think this is going to be, it's the thing that sucks about it is as much as I think it should be like game of the year and shit like that, nothing that is fun like this will ever get game of the year. Game of the year is only ever going to go to the flashy, giant, big game. About a couple months ago, I would have said that's going to be Helldivers 2. Now it looks like it's going to be, Black Monk Wukong, something like that. And then even later, it could be Space Marines 2. We'll talk about Game Awards when the Game Awards come out. It's probably going to be some dumbass game that's only been out for a week by the time they come out. But we'll see. But what I'm going to talk about now, and this will be the last thing that we're going to talk about today, is Sid Meier's Civilization 7. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 were relatively the same game. Little additions here and there, little additions to weaponry and things like that. The big addition in 5 was the World Congress. But 6 created a kind of a different form of gameplay where you had, let's see, I said when the first one came out that I couldn't wait for the second one because it will be a lot better. I agree. I totally agree, both of them. The 6th one, the big addition to the 6th one was the different districts. And if you've ever played this, you know that you've found religions, you build armies, culture wins, money, all this stuff. And so what the 6th game did was it added different districts. So you would have a military district where all your military units would spawn. You'd have a commerce district where you build all your commercial buildings. You'd have an industry district where you build all your industry buildings. The big addition in this one is the different leaders. So for the life of Civilization so far, when you picked a leader, I always, playing as America, I would always either pick George Washington in the first 5 games, I believe. And then in the newest game, it was Theodore Roosevelt. The new addition in this is you are not stuck to a single leader now. At the beginning, you'll pick a leader who represents the early civilization. Then as you progress through the ages, you will pick a civilization, a leader of that civilization, going on and on and on. So like with America, I imagine it'll be George Washington, then let's say Abraham Lincoln, then Theodore Roosevelt, then someone. They'll probably do if they go beyond Roosevelt, they'll probably do someone. Honestly, the safest bet would be to do Clinton or Reagan. Once you start getting into our presidents in the 2000s, I think it'd be too divisive to pick any single one of them. So they'll probably stop short of Bush Sr. If they do that. You're kidding, both. No, so both of them. There's a Ben Franklin governor for a district, but the leader is not Ben Franklin. At least that's what it looked like to me. If you've heard something else, tell me. But it looked like that the Ben Franklin person was the leader for science for that age. So let's look at gameplay, and then we'll talk about the narrator.
Civilization was a game that was created during a time when we were just discovering what games could be. And we said, let's put the entire history of the world into a game and make it fun.
I never played the first one. Gronking. I'll have to look at that. I think it looks so much better. And I love this. So this is the big things. Let me rewind for a second. Oh, I am muted. It looks like obviously we know, anyone that has played this knows that as you progress in your shipping, the ships can go into deeper and deeper water. Now, I imagine with the ability to sail upriver, that's only going to be you're only going to be able to do that for 1 or 2 units. You're not going to be able to do that for, you're not going to be able to send your battleships up a river. But this, I like this. This is a complaint I've had for a long time, that you've got rivers in this game and you can't go upriver. We've gone upriver on ships since, we still do today, but it was the main mode of transportation until like 1910. So I'm happy that they added this finally. This concerns me about having to deal with natural disasters. And the test of time. Of course, technology. Okay. Also coming February 11th. I'm going to be really busy that week. It's going to be Civilizations in the morning and Kingdom Come in the afternoon. So, what are my concerns about this? Well, let's start with what I like. I think it looks incredible. It looks even better than 6 does. If you go and watch there's like a 25-minute video where the people in charge actually like talk about what they've added and things like that. One of the things they've added is more units. There's more variation among units. There's more variation among the same type of unit beyond from each civilization. And there's not just fit 10 units. There's instead of having regular bow and arrow, then crossbowmen, then your lancer. Instead of having that kind of thing, you've got several different types of archers. You've got different types of swordsmen and things like that. And that's one of the things that I think the game has been lacking is customization and uniqueness among the different civilizations in their units. Now, each civilization, for a long time has had its own unique unit. Like America in the last one had the Rough Rider for Theodore Roosevelt. Prior to that, it had, I believe, the Minutemen. And so that's a cool thing to have to add to your culture, to talk about like the history of your civilization. But when it kind of comes down to it, where every single person has an archer unit or every single person has a swordsman unit, it gets repetitive and kind of annoying. But when you might have an archer unit that's better against this late civilization swordsman unit, and your archer unit is earlier, but because historically your archer unit was a incredible archer, there's a heads up there. I like that. Is the text still take more time to research than the era? Both, can you retype that? Okay, I see. Yeah. So, and that's the other issue that there's always been. As a player, it feels like the other civilizations research a lot faster than you, because you're bound to not only how your civilization researches, but how the bonuses that you've earned along the way help you research. It's one of the reasons why I tend to only play domination victories. There's 5 victories, and I guess technically, I think there's 5. There's turn-based, so at the end of your number of turns that you've pre-selected, who has the best civilization. There's domination, which is defeat 5 civilizations. There's cultural, which is, basically everyone wants to come to your country. So, we won that 20 years ago. There's diplomatic, which I believe is like becoming the leader of the World Congress. I think I've done that once, and it was an accident. And then there's technology, which is reaching Alpha Centauri or building the space station, whichever one they decide to add in this one. I prefer domination because I don't really like having to build for technology money or culture. Yeah, and both of you're exactly right. Science tech takes too long to research all the tech from the era before the era is over. It's annoying to be researching the wheel in the Bronze Age. Totally agree. And one of the things that would help fix that is icons on the technologies that kind of tell you should you go here or here. Now, what they have done in the past, they've put different icons on it to tell you this technology is helpful for military research. This technology is helpful for science research, but they don't kind of tell you which ones you need to do first. Because at the end of the day, if you're I've been in the fucking information age and researching like a Bronze Age technology by accident because I just kept going the other direction. So that kind of stuff, it'd be nice for them to kind of fix that. I don't really know how you fix that because it's still such a player-based game. How do you want your civilization to evolve? The other thing I like about what we see in this, and we get a really nice shot of it here, is it looks more, hang on. It looks more hexagonal. I believe a hexagon is the one with 6 sides. And the last one just kind of felt like they just placed a map down and then did an overlay of the hexagons, while this one feels like they more just put the hexagons down and then land, ocean, land, ocean, land. I like that. I like this feeling more like it was designed for this game instead of being like it was designed for all of these type of games, and then they've pasted their own map method on top of it. Let's see. We saw Taj. Well, here's a hanging garden. Petra is right here. What else? Maybe the Great Lighthouse of Alexandria. Nah, it looks a little small for that. It's probably just a lighthouse. Sorry, this is a hanging garden right here. Taj Mahal, the Red Fort. I have no idea what that is. It's probably Indian. Great Wall. I like having the Great Wall back. That was a wonder that was really cool to have in the 5th game, because when you would build it, it would actually go around your entire border. I like that. That was a cool little thing. Of course, you have to have the Colosseum. I mean, you cannot have it. And this is what I was talking about, different units. So obviously, you got tanks here. You got 2 different type of tanks here. This is probably the second tank you get in the game. This is probably going to be called Modern Armor if they stick to the past ways. Let's see. You got mechanized infantry. But this is the other cool thing, is what they're doing is they're actually going to allow you to kind of go into the fighting, not as like POV or anything like that. You're not going to be able to control the fighting, but you're going to be able to watch it in a more cinematic way rather than just point and click. Another example. Treasure ships. I like that. They're bringing more and more history to this game. The other thing, so this was a little worrisome. They talk about diversity and culture a lot in the big 25-minute video about where they are in this game. Normally, that would really concern me. I would be really annoyed about that. But this is different. Civilizations is not, Halo. It's not Modern Warfare. It's not Apex Legends. It's not Overwatch. Diversity is, when they talk about diversity, they're not talking about having, yellow-haired people with the correct pronouns and stuff like that. They're talking about the diversity of civilization. They're talking about the fact that the French mounted. Let's look at Agincourt, okay? Let's look at one of the most famous battles in all of Anglo-Saxon history, the Battle of Agincourt, 1415. You've got the French knights, mounted cavalry, defeated by the English longbowmen. That right there, you've got two civilizations that are 90 miles apart. And the difference in how they fight is so different that it leads to one of the greatest, underdog victories in all of human history. The legend is that it was 30,000 knights versus 8,000 Englishmen, 3,000 of those being longbowmen. And the English longbowmen destroyed the French knight. Now, was it really those big odds? We don't really know. But that's what they talk about. That's what they mean when they talk about diversity in this type of game. And I like that. I like that they want the different cultures to stand out. They want them to have actual meaningful differences, because it's ridiculous that I have played only as America in every single one. I should play as other civilizations because there's other reasons to play as those civilizations other than, oh, I look like them. That's kind of an attack on me as well. But I'm excited for this. I'm excited for Kingdom Come 2. In regards to Gamescom, big old waste of time. Honestly, everyone involved with that should be in a whole lot of trouble. Everyone involved with that Microsoft showcases, 3 days of showcases, 7 or 8 hours of video, and there's like one game, maybe 2, that's even remotely interesting. The rest are, like I've said for the last 2 years, they're Japanese RPGs, or they're top-down games, or they're games made for women. They're doing the same thing that Disney did with Star Wars and Marvel. They think that we're going to stick around and play their shit games, and they can go get the girls that aren't playing video games. Well, buckos, it's not going to happen. Everyone, thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a little bit of fun. I had a little bit of fun. Obviously, it would have been a lot better if the panels had been even better. But yeah, everyone, I hope you have a great weekend. It's 6:45 in the East Coast, so I'll be doing a little bit of work and then getting ready for bed. Got a busy week ahead of me. Looking for me indeed. There we go.